All right, so here's one of the more important questions that I get all the time, and that is for businesses or brands that are trying to begin and they want to know how can I get started and what are three simple things that I can do to get started. And that's what I'm going to tell you today. Hey guys, Ryan here, owner of 944 Marketing and Media, and I call myself a marketing problem solver. I'm somebody that can come in, help businesses understand what their marketing should be as far as media is concerned, and from that digital standpoint that everybody is trying to grab attention from. I've worked with quite a few businesses, and what we try and do is help them understand and get their message in front of the right person at the right time. And today I'm going to talk to you about building your brand. This is something that's super important for businesses, and especially the businesses that are just getting started. It's really, really difficult to get your name out there, get your brand recognized, but it's one of the most important things that you can do to get yourself known, to start getting some clout, start getting some leads, start getting people to know who exactly you are. So we'll get right into it. I have 3 C's that I use when I am starting a brand for somebody and what we focus on. The first C when you're trying to build your brand is clarity. And what that means is you need to be very, very clear and specific as far as what you do. Where a lot of people go wrong is they try and get so broad and they try and reach so many people, but the most important thing is to get very, very specific. You want just one specific group of people to know exactly who it is that you work with, what it is that you do, and how you can help them. Because the deal is, if you can get a very tight group of people, it's eventually going to get larger. But I'd love to be the expert in a very specific group. And it's much easier to do that and niche down rather than trying to go for everybody at once. It's a huge market out there. So the more specific you can get, the easier it's going to be for you to build your brand in that very tight-knit community. And then they're going to start telling their friends and their friends and their friends. And eventually you're going to start growing that brand amongst that small group of people, and it's going to expand. And then you can start changing your message or adding to your message so you can reach more people. So an example of this, if I was talking to a real estate agent, most real estate agents say, I am a real estate agent. I work with buyers. I work with sellers. I work in Charlotte. I work in Lake Norman. I work all over the place. And that's wrong if you're trying to start your brand that is not well known from everybody. What you should be focusing on is a very, very small group of people and say, I work with this specific group, and that's your clarity portion. So an example would be, I am a realtor that works with buyers in the Lake Norman area that are moving from outside, and you work with Lowe's corporate. There's a huge Lowe's corporate center down the road. You let them know that I work with buyers, people moving into the area that work for Lowe's corporate. These are going to be very, very good buyers. You start making all of your content around moving into this area from somewhere else and working for Lowe's and really trying to get into that community. And I guarantee you, you are going to do really, really well. And don't worry, you're not going to lose everybody else. Just because all of your content is for Lowe's corporate moving into the area, the other people are not going to be like, oh, they only work with Lowe's. They're going to contact you and say, hey, I saw you work with a lot of Lowe's people. Do you also work with people that are selling through Lowe's? Yes, of course I do. You're not going to deny them. So find that very small group of people. Always have your message to that group of people. And of course, other people are going to come in and want to reach out to you. The second C that I always recommend people to use is collaboration. And so there's a lot of brands out there that are already bigger than you, and that's fine. Use that to your advantage. Figure out how you can service them and provide them value, and you guys start working together. So you want to collaborate with these bigger brands that are in areas that are either like what you do or an area that you want to be like, because eventually they're going to want to pass on people to you. And then also you're going to be able to provide value to them so they have additional help coming in. Where this collaboration is super important or beneficial is with the perception. So if you're working with these really high-end brands, your perception is you are also really high-end. And that really allows you to kind of get that credibility for working with other people. So you don't have the credibility yet, but the brands that you're working with and helping are, so you want to associate yourself with them. Figure out how you can collaborate. How can you do things for them to allow you to kind of piggyback off of their their brand. A really good example of this are YouTubers. YouTubers collaborate all the time, and there's a main YouTube person, and generally their friends will make a YouTube channel, people that have been on their YouTube channel before. And those friends eventually have 100,000, 200,000 followers because they collaborated with the main person. It's not like they had this huge differentiating topic. They just got the recognition and the collaboration with the main person, who then helped them grow their brand with their YouTube channel as well. So when you're coming up with these collaborations, figure out how you can provide value to these larger brands, because they're not going to want to work with you unless you're going to give them something. So you've got to figure out what value can you provide that they either don't want to do, can't handle, or they just see a benefit from. So figure out that, then figure out who is a good person for you to collaborate with, and just ask. And the third and final C of my brand building tips is consistency. And this is the hardest one, and it's the most important one. Consistency is so important because if you're not consistent with your brand as far as the message, the colors, the logo, you're going to be forgotten. Once again, if you're not consistent with putting out content, you're going to be forgotten. So having really, really good consistency is going to allow you to stay top of mind. It's going to allow you to be recognized for what it is that you do. And people are going to remember who exactly you are and what your brand is and all about. And to piggyback off of point number one, consistency in that niched area is really going to allow you to start growing and being remembered and staying top of mind with that group of people. And the more consistent you are, the more you are the only option in their group of people, in their little sphere. And when you're the only option, there's no other option. And that allows you to really, really build your brand quickly, fast, and start getting some new leads in. So I've been doing a very poor job of consistency because I've been very, very busy. And so you've got to figure out a time in your schedule that you can build in to have branding consistency. I appreciate you guys watching, listening, whatever you're doing. We've got this as a podcast. I've got it on YouTube as well. But I want to make sure that I'm providing value. So in the comments below, what types of marketing questions do you have about building your brand, digital, videography? This actually is shot on an iPhone because I'm getting ready to fly to Portland, Oregon today, in an hour. I don't have my watch on, but I wanted to be able to edit it on a plane and leave my computer behind. So if you've got questions about shooting a video on an iPhone and how to edit, we can do that as well. So guys, I will see you next time. Comment below, share this with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, all the normal things. And I will help you guys build a better brand, be more consistent, and start getting some leads through the internet.
My outros are always terrible. So, bye.